Okay, welcome back. So, before you here is my turtle sanctuary I made last episode, and then to the left, the iron farm slash storage area I made for that last episode as well. Basically, I did a small bit of tweaks here where I added some pools at the lower levels of this turtle sanctuary of mine. Their main purpose, as you'll see in a second, is just to improve ease of access to the upper level here. Beyond that, I also worked on the main building over there in such a way that now there's a bubble vader, so easy access. It's just one way, it only goes up. It's a drop down. Otherwise, you can either drop there or go down here and drop all the way down here, where there is a seagrass farm now. But you can also just go all the way up here. And none of this has changed since you last saw it. I believe this down here might be new as well. It's just a little bit of an entrance. Okay. Now to discuss the plans for this episode. As you can see, there's a bunch of dotted lines with wool. So I'm going to get rid of this bridge because I don't actually care for it. It's been there a while, but it's kind of ugly. Gonna make a new sort of platform there. It's gonna bridge to a building that'll be there. And that'll go to an underground, and tree farms will be, except for that, whoopsie. Well, that'll be like the storage room. And then tree farms will be represented by something like that, 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 that there. Just all around. And this is a project that's going to be multiple episodes long, for the record. I'm not doing all this in one go. But at some point, I'm going to switch to working on this. You see how this is kind of jarring, this generation? It's going to try and make that look more smooth, more natural, more, I don't know, kind of pleasing to the eyes. And then finally, I want to work on this pathway here, make it more open, pretty, vines like this and moss, as well as create a storage system that actually works for this mob farm, because it just sort of picks stuff up and gets clogged. Like, it's clogged all the way to here. This is the only one that's like actually getting stuff, and this one is full. So yeah, that needs work. Which means that this path is not going to be flat like this. It's probably going to descend because this would need to go down some, and it's going to burst into that space. So this, 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 and these all have to move. I feel like when I use the letter P for words, like P words, like power or pants, I tend to, probably because the way you enunciate, it just sort of like really gets projected out there, and I get self-conscious because I hear it over the mic repeating when I listen back, and it's like, pa, poo, and it's just like, oh my gosh, is that what I sound like? It's overbearing. But as you can see right now, I'm dismantling this bridge, largely because I want, or mostly because it's step one in my plans for giving this place a makeover slash building a tree farm. But yeah, I mean, also I want to show a little bit of this because I feel like last episode I just sort of built a thing, built another thing, built a third thing, worked on slash built a fourth thing, and it felt like things were just showing up, and it was more me showing you than you being part of the process. So I'm going to try and make you more part of the process this time around. We'll see. Okay, now as you can see, the bridge that was once there to there is no longer there. And next up there should be a building there. And that structure, or hill, should be terraformed such that it can bridge out to meet the building. And then there'll be a bridge from that building to there. And that is basically the first step and will be a very, what's the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I was basically getting at the point that I would put in more effort for a tree farm than I probably need to, because I'm trying to make one farm for every type of tree, just because I can. Now to take this platform, make it more platform. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Uh-oh. I'll do it this way. I need this to line up with that. And also I don't like what I've done. Okay. So now creating this platform. Basically I want this to go, we're at Y81 right now. Right down to Y79 or 78. And then maybe want to branch into this direction too, while I'm not busy falling off. Do 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 do. Behold, it's held up by that one thing of bamboo. Without that, it would totally fall down. But anyways, this is platform as it currently is. I have to basically create this anew around this. Should be lots of fun. And this is what it looks like about 3 minutes later. He's pillaring up, placing blocks, doing what they know how to do. Place block, place block, place block, do, 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 do. Okay, it's coming together, it's shaping up. I don't hate it so far. Okay, there goes my makeshift add-on to that little thing. I might refine it later, but for now it suits my purposes. So next we're gonna build that and then bridge to that. And once we have this built and that bridge to, we're gonna make a bridge to that platform. And then future me will someday make a trail that goes that way. I now need to turn my attention to building this building into a building that people might perhaps think of other buildings they could build in. How many times did I just say building? I don't know. Okay, quick update. So this is where we've got right now. I basically have treated this like a wall, and you can sort of see that'll bridge to above this. And I've treated this side as a ground floor entrance. And I believe I might also treat this as an entrance, or this will be similar level to where that'll connect up there. Will connect to over there. And here I think I'll probably just do the same as this. Actually, I'll show you what I did for that, although you can sort of see, just to have it in. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. All the way up to this level. On both sides. Then this. Over here. And that. That should be enough. That. Yeah, going off that. I do this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Do. Dun, dun, dun. Make that. Almost broke it without the pick. Would have been so sad. Gotta break that wool. But yeah. That basically mirrors what I did on the other side. Okay, I've made my doorways, but I can't decide between this or this. The difference mostly being these. I'll probably fill this back in, but I also opened this up. But still. I don't know. This is difficult. It's kind of like both of them. Although I'm leaning more towards this. Okay, with that decision made, that's basically the ground floor all finished. Just adding extra additional lighting. Whoopsie. But yeah, let's take a look at this from the outside. This should be a good angle. I think it does its job. It needs further refinement, but for the moment I'm happy with what I'm looking at. Also, if you watched last episode, you probably saw me build all of this, / saw the results. But my favorite part about this whole system is just that the iron shoots up out of there and you see it like that. Yes, exactly. And it just makes me happy to see that happen. Every time, really. Just small smile on my face. Okay, quick update. So I put in these corners, raised the granite. Want to say I finalized / agreed on a finish for how this doorway looks. And that's all I've got at the moment. I fell in a hole. Just collecting fuel for my furnace room. Don't mind me. Okay, so the build got a little taller. Mostly just added those little ribs. I don't know what else to call them. They're kind of just ribbing, which is a motif I have for all these because, well, I think it looks good. It's also lazy and I'm scared of innovating. Don't judge me. But here we have basically the entrance. This will be stairs. Probably starting here and going down. Starting here and going down. Or it might start here and here and meet there. And this will just be a jump you have to do. I don't hate that idea. But here's going to be where bubble vader for going up, bubble vader for going down will be, or vice versa. Vice versa. But yeah. Otherwise, not much has changed, just small tweaks that you may be noticing. Okay, for the next stage in the video, we're going to pause working on that, work on this. And you must go, oh, Ferro Man, this has already clearly been done. You did that already. Wrong. You see how the walls there are? I want to emulate that for this. Because that looks good in my opinion. And this is just a smaller part of that, is my ideal world that this should exist in. So yeah, we're going to stop that, work on this. Anyone else ever feel like working on a new build? It's kind of like pulling teeth. Once you're done, you're really happy with what you created for the most part. Except for that. Don't like that. But I don't know, that seems to be my relationship with building. For the most part. As you can see, I've done the first layer of ribbing. Now to start the next layer. Someday I will drain this whole entire nether lake, lava lake in the nether, because I know it's the best fuel source, except for it's non-renewable, except for now it is, but I've never bothered making a lava farm. Whoa! Okay, so this is all done. At least, I could make do with further tweaks. That would come further down the line in any case. But as it stands, it is complete enough. So next step would be just building a bridge slash building that up so that I can build the bridge. Do not freak out, but this is a bridge. Yep. Now that you're done freaking out, I'm gonna take this spine type setup that I have for other bridges in this normal area where I have bridges and add it to this. And here we go. It's the spine type implements I talked about earlier. And while I have you, I'm gonna maybe add a window right here. Let's see. Do we like that? I'm gonna say yes we do, but we're gonna mirror that there and on the other corners as well. I've decided to nix the window idea. Whoa, that didn't work out. Well, that's the case. I want to add some regular granite along with the polished granite that is already there. Sometimes I think the most difficult part about building something is that it starts formless. At least the way I do things. And I don't always know what I'm gonna get because I don't go into a project knowing how I'm gonna build it. And then I either walk away with something I like, something I can tolerate, or something I don't care for. Not to name names. But yeah. Alright, we've now arrived at what could be the complete version. I say could be because there's something up top that I want to mess with slash work on. And there's also, I want to make this an actual like thing that connects to up here so you're not just like walking off into the water there. But up here is where I kind of feel it's most lacking because I want to have something here because it just feels empty. And if you look from far away, and we're just gonna do so, it looks kind of stubby, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. I think on a whole it works, but I want to see if I can improve it. Okay, so the downstairs pathway has mostly been completed. Just have to go that way and somehow turn to go this way. So maybe go down here, there, go that way. It doesn't need to be exact, but I would like to line it up to some degree. Okay. Okay, so from here, we're giving that a break, and we're gonna start working on this terrain generation goof, whatever you'd call it. We'll be taking some inspiration from what Mumbo Jumbo's been doing in his most recent Hermitcraft episodes in terms of the terrain he's making. I'll look at what I've just done. It's just been in this little pocket that's sort of hard to see from most angles, but yeah. Just looking at it, I want to soften that hard edge right there and that up there. And there's a lot to do. Okay, as you can see, that's a little better. Looks more organic, like normal. So now I gotta go get more stone and get back to it. Okay, here is a quick look at what I've been up to. Just kind of threw a bunch of terrain at the wall to see what sticks. Okay, done with the terrain for now. I'm leaving that possibly for the future or end of this episode. And this tree just grew over there. This is all done. Putting some bamboo in. I did this as well. And this is the one I've done the least amount of work on. But I sort of went for a more low effort, nice return type of deal. But yeah, I also need to do that still. And over there. But that doesn't seem like it'd be that harrowing, so I should be able to do right quick. Yeah. There's also a thing there that I might touch. Let's see. Interesting. I'm in a tree. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking. You can see some of these are hollow. This thing, I could fuss with that a little bit if I wish. At this point, it's all a matter of what I have the patience for. Okay, I have done this now. Last time I finished up that, I decided to just do all this off camera, / not show any of the progress. But I also was thinking, because like, that looks like if the Minecraft generation, terrain generation had like a boo-boo, an injury, this would be the scar tissue that grows back in its place. And I just thought that was kind of interesting. It made me feel like my world was more alive than it already is. Now we've arrived at the part of the video I alluded to at the start of the video. If you're still here, thanks. But I have a mob farm that's overflowing, and I need it to not be overflowing, so I have to organize it beyond just, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests of stuff flowing in, and, you know, let's be real, this one and this one are getting the majority of stuff. This one's getting almost nothing. It's just like that, and then this one is getting similar numbers of small, I don't know. Yeah, it's basically just a mob spawn up there, pistons push them, and then they fall. You can see it in a second. Yeah, like here they come. Cleared out some space. And now I just need to figure out probably a tutorial for a sorter of items. An item sorter, if you will. Because I know redstone about as well as I know how to fly a plane and what makes the plane fly. It's mainly just some sort of steering wheel and wings give lift. That's the extent of my knowledge for planes. So I might know more about redstone actually. Anyways, okay. Item sorter's made. It's working as intended. I got the majority of the design from a Silent Whisper video where he's just going over item sorters. Only thing that I added is there's no easy way up here apparently. There's no like trash for unexpected items, so I just have this looping of hoppers going round and round. And hopefully that never comes back to bite me. Kind of hard to navigate this area. Now, all that's left for this project / area is just to make a path / room for it that looks somewhat decent to very decent to actually perfection, because I'm really good at maybe 1% of building. Nah, solid 60. Okay, here's a update on what I've made so far. Basically works like this. I'm probably going to make a moss pathway and then have tough blocks, just sort of regular tough, this stuff, as like the floor that isn't moss. And then I might leave the ceiling the same, but add some azalea leaves and more of these glowberry vines. Does anyone else always forget you can just hold down the mouse button just keep going with the bone meal. You don't have to spam click it. Because I often think you have to spam click, else there's a skeleton coming to get me. Oh, he stopped. Cool. Hello, I have finished this room. I left some hoppers visible because you can see the pairs behind them with their red glow, and I think that looks cool. I left this open. It's just a natural cave that spawned underneath when the cave and cliffs update happened. The part 2 version, and this just goes up here, and you can see this is something I'm going to work on. I'm going to give it the same treatment I've given over here. So like slabs will go up there, and then slabs will be here, and obviously here, and so on and so forth. And there'll be moss, and there'll be tuff, and there'll be vines, and there'll be azalea leaves. Words, they're tricky. Have you ever done words? I've done words sometimes. I have trouble with them. Okay. Now, this is a voiceover, but I'm just bone mealing moss. And that way I don't have to like dig a bunch of holes into the ground for the right level I want to do things on. But yeah, beyond that, this is a good time to talk about the fact that I intended to do or build some of the wood farm infrastructure slash whole system, and I didn't, which topically I'm about to chop this tree down, so that makes sense. Beyond that, in the near future, I intend to upload another video that isn't Minecraft. It's gonna be, if you're familiar with the Resident Evil franchise, it's gonna be Requiem. Just a clip show, basically my reactions to my first playthrough. Also, recently, I rewatched my own content, like episodes 7 through 1 of this series, and it was kind of enlightening because at the start, it sounds like a totally different person, and now it's like the same person, but like maybe a little wiser. But yeah, beyond that, yeah, I sort of just witnessed my own progression, and it was kind of a shock to see. Now we're doing glow vines, glow berries. I don't know what to call them. It almost sounds like glue vine, which is like mulled wine of some kind with a bunch of stuff. Ever heard of glue vine? My brain drawed a blank for a second there. But placing vines, I previously was placing tuff, and in a failed version of this, I made a joke about this is tough to do. But yeah, moving on to azalea leaves, thank goodness, because I'm running out of things to say. Oh no, I blocked that vine. Oh, I undid it, I think. I can see in the video we're coming up to real-time talking. So this is going to be the end of Editor TheraBan, and say hello to the future. Alrighty then. This is finished. Just going to let some of the vines grow a little bit. I've sheared some of them so that you can like stop their progress. But yeah, otherwise this is all done. And speaking of done, you can probably tell looking at the video, this is the ending remarks. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope even a little bit of this inspired you for some of your own ideas. And see you in the next one.